Yes, after a week of time, we have been starting our class by today. Probably in the previous classes, we have seen lists and how lists are being worked out, and how lists. What are the different kinds of methods which have been operated on lists have been seen, and then basic syntax for defining a particular function also be seen in the previous classes. And today we'd like to concentrate on the main function. On main function, we would like to concentrate, and we are also today we are also see one specific case study regarding to generating some kind of sentences, English sentences, regarding to this particular by using this particular main function. Let us see what is the basic information regarding to a main function here. So normally in other languages, let me consider C, C++, and Java, of course, .NET. All these languages are supposed to be. All these languages are supposed to be taken one particular entry point for its or for their execution using computer is main function, MAIN. That is the function where exactly the execution could be get started in all other languages such as C family, such as C, C++, Java, and .NET. However, many other languages have been taken the same kind of format. But in Python, main function actually doesn't need it. But so if you want to perform a particular script or execute a particular script in a specific form by using main function, how they could be done here, let us see here. So a main function will be always used to take the entry point of your script, Python script. Okay, entry point in the sense. So this particular point, point will be always considered that yes, your program will be get started here. So to mention such kind of a designation for our program, yes, you have to take into consideration of MAIN. Actually, it doesn't require, but if any person, you wrote one particular program, and if any person wanted to look into that particular program, where exactly your program has been started here in the sense, yes, you could able to take this particular main. Okay, that is the point where exactly you need to remember here. And normally in Python, so main function is not supposed to be taken any arguments. No arguments will be taken. It is not expected any kind of arguments here, and it should also not return any value. Okay, the main function could be so not taken any kind of arguments or parameters, and it should not be returns any value here. So these are the 2 points you must be remembered when you are trying to write any Python script by using a main function here. All other functions, for example, you may be write your own functions by using def. So yes, you could able to define your function, and there may be a possibility to take some number of parameters based on the requirement of your problem statement. So there may be written values also based on the requirements of your problem statement. So there is possibilities will be taken some parameters. There might not have any possibility to take so number of arguments by other functions. You may be define your own functions, user defined functions. So they may be written, they may not be written, they may be taken arguments, or they may not be taken any arguments based on the problem statement. But if you are interested to define main function or main function here, this main function cannot be taken. You are not supposed to pass any kind of arguments over there, and you are not supposed to return any values from the main. So these are the 2 points you must be remembered. And next point is, so always what is the basic importance of this main function here is, it may be take some kind of input from the user. From the user, it may be take some kind of inputs here. Yes, some inputs could be taken into consideration. and then they will be processed, they will be executed by calling other functions. This is the basic priority of this particular main function in Python. Okay, and of course it could be able to also provide some kind of outputs to the user also. Okay, so this is the specification where exactly you need to remember in terms of main function. Okay, and here you could consider main function will be available anywhere else in the program. It doesn't take any kind of order. First main function followed by first function of calling, second function of calling. No, that kind of order is not supposed to be followed. You can define your main function anywhere else. There is no problem at all. And you can, whatever the order you may be follow, that is not supposed to be a big deal in terms of Python programming. But what is the point you need to remember here is the main function must be called. The main function must be called at the end of the program. The last and final line of your Python script must be, you have to call the main function. So if you call the main function, obviously all other functions also part and parcel of main, so that they will be called and our program could be gets executed. So this is the specific, these are the 2 points we would like to remember always regarding to main function. Point number 1 is, this is the point number 1. Let me take the highlighter and I'll repeat you. This is the point number 1. Main function cannot be taken any arguments or any parameters. Second point is main function should not return any value. Return statement cannot be applicable under main program or main function. This is the first point you need to remember. And second point will be order of writing of main function will be anywhere else. That doesn't matter. Okay, you could write in the first, as a first function main, you could write, or as last function, you could write, or in the middle of 5 to 6 functions, yes, you could write your main function. There is no problem. Order, no particular order will be followed. No particular order will be gets followed while writing this particular main function. So this is the second point you need to remember. And the third point is, at the end of your script, at the end of your program, last and final statement is calling of main function. Okay, these are the 3 points you need to remember always while writing this particular main function in so Python scripting here. Okay, Python scripting, you need to remember these points here. Now we would like to check out what are the requirements while we have to consider any kind of Python script using main. Let us have a look here. This is a small case study. This is a small case study which will be very familiar case study in terms of data science. Data science in the sense of big data analytics, or artificial intelligence. Such kind of things are there with us. So during those, so we have some kind of possibilities to generate some kind of sentences here. Let me open this one here for you. Yeah, you can see normally if you want to generate any kind of sentence, the sentence will be must be seems like this. It must be always taken. So one noun phrase. One noun phrase can be taken, followed by, it could be framed by using one verb phrase. Okay, one noun phrase and one verb phrase can be taken into consideration while any sentence will be formed in English. Now, here 2 phrases are there. One is a noun phrase and second one is verb phrase. How the noun phrase could be taken into consideration? So a noun phrase could be a combination of 2 things. So thing number one will be, so let me consider as article plus, so then followed by a noun. Okay, article, the son, a boy. So something like that. Okay, then followed by verb phrase. If you consider this particular verb phrase in the sense, verb phrase will be always taken into consideration. So something like this. So verb phrase might be a combination of verb plus followed by noun phrase, followed by prepositional phrase. So verb phrase could be taken into consideration something like this: verb followed by noun phrase followed by prepositional phrase. What does it means? So the cat is sit on a wall. Okay, wall is a noun, and then sit or sat is verb. On is a preposition, something like that. So that could be called as a prepositional phrase. And here we got one more extra phrase. That phrase will be preposition. So the how this preposition phrase will be gets prepared here in the sense. This is the way. This is the way to prepare this preposition phrase. The phrase will be seen in such a way. So one preposition could be there. One preposition followed by noun phrase. So this is the way of generating a particular sentence. Sentence must be combination of a noun phrase and verb phrase. So noun phrase must be combination of article followed by noun, then followed by verb phrase will be verb plus noun phrase plus prepositional phrase. And if you consider, let me give you one particular example, then you could understand very easily. The cat sat on the wall. Look at this. So let me select each and everything. This is a article. D is article. CAT is a noun, and then sat is a verb, and then on is called as preposition. Again, D is the article, and then followed by wall is again noun. Okay, these are the specific points where exactly we would like to consider here. In this way, you can able to provide, you can able to frame one particular sentence. For doing this particular job, what exactly we would like to perform here? What exactly we would like to perform? Let us write the statements or the program which is related to this particular whole story here. So how these things will be gets prepared. Let me write a small file for you. Okay. So let me show you. These are the phrases where exactly we would like to consider here. So therefore, to generate this kind of sentences, what exactly we require, all sentences will not be in the same fashion. Sometimes one particular noun will be, preceded by a. Sometimes it may be the. So there is a possibility to select different kinds of articles, so that we would like to select random kind of articles will be selected, so that we would like to require one specific module which is required here. That module is random. So therefore, import random. We would like to import this particular random module could be imported into the consideration. Next one is we have to define what are the different kinds of articles who are expected. Okay, articles must be defined by me with a tuple. Already we have seen tuple is immutable kind of object. Immutable in the sense, once you have to create any kind of a tuple, you never change the values of that particular tuple. It is not possible to change the values of the particular tuple here. You could not add any values for them, or you cannot delete any values from the tuple. So that is why we would like to consider the articles will be defined with a tuple. So articles will be equal to, let me define a tuple. Tuple will be always starts with open bracket, open parenthesis. Let me define first article will be a, and second article will be the. I'd like to take only these two. I'd like to, for time being, I'd like to take only these two. Then followed by nouns. So nouns will be, it's also be defined with the same what you call tuples only. So let me take very few. Of course, you could have many, as many number of nouns are there, but generating sentences, I'd like to take a very formal way of nouns here. BOY is one particular noun. and then girl is another, G-I-R-L. Girl is another noun which is being taken into consideration. B-A-T is another noun which is being taken into consideration. And of course, B-A-L-L is another noun which could be taken into consideration. Okay, these are the nouns here. And then verbs. Oh, sorry, in small lowercase letters. Verbs will be taken into consideration. Something like this will be equal to, this is also a tuple, and probably HIT, hitting the bat, ball hitting by bat, something like that. Hit, followed by saw, S-A-W, saw, followed by liked, L-I-K-E-D, liked. It is also another. Of course, I have been defining sentences by using only these words. Other words are not supposed to be taken into consideration, but I maybe give one assignment to you or soon completion of this particular class. Then you have to define, or you have to generate sentences in a particular way. Okay. Then prepositions. All prepositions also be with by using tuple only. So there are two different types of prepositions we would like to consider in terms of generating my sentences here. That is, with is one particular preposition, by is another preposition. Okay, so like this. Yes, already have been defined. How many number of phrases you are required? A noun phrase will be required. So noun has been required here. Yes, noun has been defined by me. Articles have been required by me. Yes, articles also be specified by me. So verbs are required. Yes, verbs are also specified by me. Prepositions are required. Yes, prepositions also specified by me. Now we'd like to define number of functions which are very much required. So sentence will be always formed by using noun phrase and verb phrase. So first of all, let me define a particular sentence here. So define DEF. So SEN, sentence. Okay, a sentence has been defined something like this. SENTENSE will be defined something like this. What it could be written here in the sense, written, what exactly it could be required as per the previous explanation. Sentence will be formed with the noun phrase plus verb phrase. So I'd like to written the same, NOUN PHRASE, which is a particular function, followed by plus. I required some space because without any space, if you generate any kind of sentence, that could be seen a series of characters, but not having some kind of sense here. So that I'd like to append them using a small one single space here. Single space will be gets appended here. Followed by next one is verb phrase. VERB PHRASE, verb phrase. This is also one more function. I have taken two different types of functions here. Okay. Then define the next definition will be noun phrase. So NOUN PHRASE. Let me copy from here itself because so sometimes typing topographical mistakes will be gets occurred when like to type all those things here. So here how this could be taken into consideration. So a noun phrase will be combination of article. Look at this here, article plus noun. Article must be taken into consideration and noun must be taken into consideration. So therefore, I'd like to define so article something like this. Written. So random of, now I have to take random choice, RANDOM, random dot choice of, what I would like to take into consideration, articles first, ARTICLES. Let me copy this one from here to here. So yes, articles will be taken. So followed by plus appending. So one space followed by again appending. So random of choice of, what exactly I would like to consider here now. Okay, so here as far as the point which we'd like to consider here, first time it may be taken a boy, second time the girl, fourth time, third time the bat, fifth time a ball, something like that. It could be taken randomly. It could be pick up one particular value from the tuple. Okay, this is what I would like to take into consideration as far as the nouns are being considered. Next, verb phrase. I'd like to define the verb phrase here, how this verb phrase could be seen. So let us have a look here. DEF, the verb phrase, how this could be defined here in the sense, it could be as per the explanation point of view. Here, verb is the combination of verb phrase is combination of verb, noun, and preposition. Okay, verb, noun phrase, and preposition phrase. Okay, let us take the same here. So, return, what exactly it could be written here in the sense, it could be random dot choice. I'd like to take into consideration of verbs, any verb it could be taken into consideration, then followed by plus, and then single space, again plus, so followed by noun phrase, noun, whatever the noun phrase it has been taken into consideration, the same function will be passed here, plus, so single space, again plus, then followed by what exactly there with the noun phrase in the explanation, in the noun verb phrase, verb plus, noun plus, prepositional phrase. So let me take PREP, prepositional, PHRASE, prepositional phrase. Okay, let me take all these. Okay. Now, already we have defined verb phrases gets over, and the sentences gets over, and noun phrase also gets over. What exactly which could be remain here? That is a prepositional phrase. Prepositional phrase has been left over here. Let us define DEF, the prepositional phrase. As per the explanation point of view, so yeah, as per the explanation point of view, what are the different combinations of a preposition phrase? Preposition phrase, noun phrase. Preposition plus noun phrase. That is the combination of these two here. So therefore, I'd like to take return. So random dot choice of preposition. Already we have defined some prepositions here. So preposition, the tuple preposition plus combine or append with another thing. Next one is the noun. So directly you could provide the noun phrase here. So where it is, the noun phrase. Wait a while, I'd like to copy this one from here to here. Normally, at the end of the sentence, after providing this one at the end of the sentence, normally we have a full stop. So that plus, so within single double quotes, full stop. Okay, noun phrase. Yes, definitions of whatever the explanation we have been taken just before, everything has been defined here. So look at this. Excuse me. So look at this. Sentence will be a combination of noun phrase plus verb phrase, followed by noun phrase will be combination of articles plus choice nouns, and then verb phrase will be combination of verbs plus noun phrase plus prepositional phrase. Okay, prepositional phrase. So the prepositional phrase will be combination of prepositions followed by noun phrase. Whatever the noun you have been selected, that particular noun will be taken into consideration. Yes, everything is gets over. So whatever the sentence we have, we are interested to frame here, everything is gets completed. Then come to main. Come to DEF MAIN. This main will be already we have taken some kind of explanation regarding to main here. The main will be never take any kind of arguments, never take any kind of so what is that written values. It could not be taken any kind of written values. And what is the sole purpose or attend purpose will be take some kind of inputs. Inputs must be taken here, and then inputs must be processed, and then it could be print the results. Okay, this is the importance of the main function here. So we would like to perform the same operation here. We would like to perform the same operation here. What exactly we'd like to consider? So let me take some input here. So n will be equal to, so let me take integer input, enter number of sentences. How many sentences you are interested to frame? Okay, if it is 3 sentences, of course, by using those noun and verb and preposition and all those phrases, it could be framed. So 3 sentences. 10 will be given, 10 sentences will be produced. 5 will be given, 5 sentences will be produced. Then followed by what exactly you are trying to perform here. So for like to produce so n number of sentences here. for for I, so in a range of n. Range of n in the sense always range will be produced 0 to n minus 1. 0 to n minus 1. Range will be always starts with 0 and ends with whatever the parameter you have been passed for range minus 1. N minus 1 sentences has been produced here. So therefore, we'd like to print. So print whatever the basic function we have to call. Sentence is the basic function. Here noun phrase has been called and verb phrase has been called. In noun phrase, one more thing has been taken into consideration, and in verb phrase, so noun phrase has been called and a prepositional phrase also be called, and in prepositional phrase, then a random of prepositions are called and noun phrase also called here. So therefore, we would like to call only the sentence, the function sentence here. Then obviously it could be produced. Yes, everything has been defined and. Everything gets over because main cannot be written any value. Main cannot be taken any parameters here. No argument will be taken. No written statement will be there for main. So my program gets over. At this moment, what I would like to specify. So look at this presentation one more time. So the main function must be called at the end of the Python script. At the end of the Python script, you have to call the main function. Therefore, everything will be gets worked out. So therefore, I'd like to call main. Yes, just it has been called. That's all. Last and final statement must be this one here. So look at this. Let me save this one. Let me save this one with a name in our Python only. Where it is? Yeah, Python and the programs. So here it is. Main.py. Okay. Yes, I have been saved this one. Now let me run this particular program for a while. Yes, how many sentences you are expected? I would like to expect only 2 sentences. Look at this. A boy saw a bat by the boy. Randomly it has been selected so that it could be generated something like this. A bat hit a ball by the boy. Okay, a bat has been hit hit a ball by the boy. Okay, let me execute one more time for so 5 sentences. Let me take a number of sentences will be 5. So some number of sentences might be in a particular order. I mean particular phrases, and there might be some kind of meaning because we are generating sentences at random, not exactly as per the English grammar. We are generating using Python program. Look at this. A ball saw a ball with a ball. So here this sentence is not meaningless. So it has been generated by the Python. So boy liked the bat by a boy. So bat liked the girl with the bat. Okay. Some sentences might be correct. Some sentences might not be correct. This is the way of generating some kind of English sentences while working with the Python here. So these will be very much useful in artificial intelligence or data science. This will be very much useful for you while you are talking with a computer. When you have to give some kind of message, based on that it could be generate automatically it would be generate some sentences. So they will be confirmed with the Python program, something like this. Okay, let me execute this one for 10 sentences. How many sentences that could be generated here, which are useful for us? Okay, let us see. I'd like to generate 10 sentences here. Look at this. These are the sentences. Okay, some sentences might be grammatically correct. Some sentences may not be grammatically correct because everything has been picked up by us by using random function. Okay, the bat hit the bat with a ball. It is not correct actually, but it has been. A ball liked a girl by a bat. Maybe not correct. However, whatever it may be. So the ball saw a girl with a ball. Probably that could not be correct. However, this is the way of producing some kind of sentences at random here. You can take your own articles, your own articles in the sense a, an, and the. These are the 3 articles we have in the English literature. And then nouns, you could change some number of nouns by using this particular program, and you could also change number of verbs by using this particular program. And the prepositions also. You please change number of prepositions. You have to generate some number of sentences, something like this. Okay. So I'd like to send this particular program to you through Google Classes today, and also give some kind of assignment on the same by giving some kind of so prepositions and the nouns, articles, and verbs also. So based on that, you have to generate them and you have to resubmit me within 1 day, probably by tomorrow evening, so 5 or 6 o'clock. Okay. So this is the way how you can use main program. Look at this. So this sentence, I mean, this particular function has been called. Internally, this particular sentence function might have 2 more functions, that is noun phrase and verb phrase. And the noun phrase does have its own choices. And the verb phrase will be, so it may be called 2 more sentences, 2 more functions here, function noun phrase and the prepositional phrase. And the prepositional phrase might be having some kind of other functions also be called. So everything will be picked up by using this particular random module. Because of random module, probability will be there to get proper sentences, or probability is there to not get I mean, grammatically correct kind of sentences. So therefore, you are expected to perform the same kind of program by taking different kinds of nouns, verbs, and prepositions. Okay, you please take the same here. And Sivashankar, who is this Sivashankar? 536. This is what the class for today. How to define different kinds of functions, and how these functions will be called, and how the main function will be worked out, and how sentences will be formed, something like this. This is actually a small case study which could be used to provide, which could be used to produce some number of sentences for our purpose. It might be very much useful in artificial intelligence kind of area, where exactly you have to use. I'd like to send this particular program to you in using Google Classrooms immediately. Okay.